Champions Cup round 3 Sunday games. If you're going to get up at 4:30 before work on a Monday to watch some rugby, it's a good thing there's a bit of entertainment on. There certainly was that. I watched the first two games kind of side by side on a semi-delayed broadcast. That was Gloucester, Connacht and Sale, Exeter. But yeah, definitely didn't put me back to sleep. Very entertaining stuff. And then the final game, Toulouse, Montpellier, I've just watched after I got home from work. Just the highlights though. I didn't have time to watch the whole thing. But yeah, pretty fun stuff. I will start with the first one. If I can find some space on this piece of paper. Gloucester, Connacht. Good result for Gloucester, and I guess this shows the importance of getting those two losing bonus points in the first round because they are up to second in their pool. That's pool 5. Yeah, they're on 7 points now. Good bonus point win for them. Connacht, it's not looking quite so pretty. They've gone from an opening win, and now they are at the bottom of the pool on 4 points. So it's a pretty competitive one. Everyone's taking points off each other, except Toulouse, who keep on winning. But yeah, 26-17 started with a Tom Marshall try on 4 minutes. Just step and through. It was all too easy. The guy is known to have a wee bit of footwork about him, and he certainly showed that in this game. 7-zip. But didn't take long for Connacht to reply through Porch. Cardi had the pass. And he just went through kind of a half step and made it 7 apiece. So it was all action early in that one. Connacht had a penalty, took it out to 10-7. That was just before the half an hour mark. And then, again, because I was dual screening the games and that one was on the TV, this one was on the computer, smaller screen, lower sound. So I suppose more of my focus was on here, especially with all the tries that were going on in that game. So the feeling I got from what I was watching was just that Gloucester were putting on a fair bit of pressure. And every time I looked down, it was just like Connacht were getting a turnover. Like Aki got a turnover and who's the other midfielder got a turnover. It was just really proper defence from the Connacht guys. Gloucester kept up the pressure. At one point, one of the Gloucester guys was literally running and tripped himself over. Nobody got near him, and I thought, this is kind of an indication of what's happening in this game. Nothing's going right for Gloucester at that point. They were down, but it looked again from what I've seen that they should have been potentially up. I thought it was an ankle tap at first, but no, the guy just totally tripped. Eventually they got a penalty. They went for touch. They mauled. They got a penalty again. They mauled again. The TMO had a look. There was no try. So it's kind of an awkward grounding. And it was really hosing down before half-time. Just before half-time, Connacht missed the penalty. And weird moment where I think I saw Cipriani talking to the ref about something, about the 22 dropout. And whatever Cipriani heard must have got the wrong end of the stick, because then he went and proceeded to just drop kick it straight out. Again, I had the sound really low in that game, so I don't really know what was said, but you've never been able to just drop kick it out. Even I saw that and thought, that's not a good move. Sure enough, that gave Connacht a scrum. But yeah, they didn't. Mostert came in and had a huge tackle. I think they won a penalty, but didn't cost Gloucester. But I guess on another day it could have. Second half, Gloucester got underway pretty quick. Rhys Dammit got a try. There was Sips with the intercept. Yeah, Cipriani with the intercept. He didn't quite have the gas to get there. He passed it to the support runner of Rhys Dammit, and he went over for a try. It was a great read from Cipriani. And I saw him mouth go when he passed. It was like a movie moment, right? Like, just go, leave me. You've got the gas. Just go for it. Get the try. And sure enough, he did. That made it 14 points to 10. Gloucester in front. 59 minutes, Kyle Godwin gets a yellow card. I kind of missed what that was for. I tried to watch it on the replay when they re-showed it, but I didn't quite see what it was for. And that was costly as well because Pelledri went over for a try. Why do I feel like I'm missing something? Oh, Marshall's first one. Yeah, second one, sorry. Marshall got a try. It was from a scrum. He put on another little step. And, yeah, that made it 19 points to nil. The yellow card was 5-0. And then there was another weird moment from Cipriani where he's in his own 22. And this is what leads to Pelledri's try. He's in his own 22. He's shaping to kick. It looks like he's about to be charged down. Whether intentionally or not, he essentially kicks the ball straight across his own 22. So kind of like a cross kick, but it didn't really go airborne. Almost like a football or soccer style kick crossing the goal mouth, which you're not supposed to do from what I was told when I played soccer as a young fella. But yeah, eventually, like moments later, like a few phases later, not that long later, it led to Pelledri's try. He just kind of burst through a tackle and went around about 22 metres to score the try. So 26 points to 10. 12 Trees, though, got a yellow card on 72 minutes. Connacht started to build pressure. 77 minutes, Timo's looked no try, but eventually 81, Rue gets the try. So Connacht finished with a consolation try there at the end. It doesn't get them anything in the way of points, but it makes the scoreboard look a bit tidier. The stats are generally, I guess, in favour of Gloucester. Run meters 614 to 317. That's a telling one, but position and territory are pretty even. Both sides tackled similar percentages and similar amounts. 144 to Gloucester, 134 to Connacht. Penalty count, though, 14 Gloucester, only 7 to Connacht. So I guess that's one area of concern if you're a Gloucester fan. Marshall, man, that guy was phenomenal. 142 run meters. To put that in perspective, the other day when Saracens played Munster, Saracens, the team, had 172. Marshall on his own had 140. So McCartney for Gloucester, not Gloucester, for Connacht had 16 out of 17 tackles, which in itself is a very good effort. Yeah, like I said, Gloucester second in the pool. Connacht down to fourth. Still a pretty entertaining game. And I was glad when there were slow moments in this one, especially the second half. That one was really just kind of going for all money. The next one, Sale against Exeter. And this was a proper nail-biter. Exeter in that first half looked like the team they have been looking like in this Champions Cup. But Sale didn't let them just kind of run away with it. They didn't let them get 4 tries. They kept it within 2 points. And if their kicking had been a little bit better, you might even have a draw, or at least a draw, maybe even a win. It did start with a Sale penalty. 3 points to nil. There were some elaborate kind of passes going wrong early for both sides. I remember at one moment, I think one of the Sale guys passed it to an Exeter guy, and then an Exeter guy offloaded to a Sale guy, or vice versa. It was a bit elaborate for the day, and they probably both needed to settle down a little bit. Hogg on 13 minutes went very close, and then Tom Curry ended up getting yellow carded because he kind of killed the ball from there. He gets yellow carded, and it's a penalty try on 14 minutes. So it's 7 points to 3, Exeter in front. 14 minutes or 15, a minute later, basically, Hogg is not denied the second time. It's from a kick through, and yeah, he regathers it. Or he gathers it. Who kicked it? I forget. It's been too long. I've been a whole day at work since doing this, watching the game and doing the review. They missed the conversion. It's 12 points to 3. It's only quarter of an hour gone, and Hogg goes off for an HIA. He doesn't come back. He fails it. And it's strange because I'll get to Hogg's stats a bit later, but just recall he only played like 15 minutes. 19 minutes, Exeter penalty makes it 15 to 3. The yellow card is 8 points at that point for Exeter. 20 minutes, Nick White gets charged down, and Akavandamova is the guy who picks up the ball from the resulting charge down and gets a try. They missed the conversion, which is a costly one because it wasn't an impossible one. Makes it a 15-8. And then 24 minutes, 25, Cowan Dickey gets a try. It's from phases. He goes 2 meters out. He kind of does a half dummy and he drives over, making it 22 points to 8. So 25 minutes, Exeter on 22 points. They're going almost point a minute. It's looking very hard to compete with. That yellow card period ends up being, what is it, like 15-5, I think, points scored. So it's a pretty good haul from Exeter. 28 minutes, Sale win a penalty in front. They turn down 3. They go for touch. They maul it. They run it. Robert Dupree, I think it is, put into touch. Then what happens next? It's Aka van der Mover again. Yeah, it is before half time. Second time lucky, they go for a maul, and this time it is Aka who goes over. They miss the conversion again. It's 22 points to 13. Yeah, it's tight, but Sale are far from looking dead and buried. I've got a note about Faf doing an offload, which I vaguely remember. Probably was worth a try, but I think, who was it knocked on? One of the Sale guys knocked on, and it was the winger. And yeah, that was probably another moment where Sale will look back at this scoreline and go, could have done a little bit better. Half time it is. Second half starts. I haven't got a whole lot of notes in the second half. I think there's a bin coming up my driveway, which is a treat. Yeah, I think Ben Moon gets a yellow card. There's a bunch of pressure, a defensive scrum penalty from Exeter. They're under the pump, but they managed to kind of hold up with a man down. 72 minutes is like my next note. Sale go close. The TMO says no try. 74 minutes, 75. Ross finally gets a try for Sale. Bit of power in that, and that makes it 20 points to 22. And that was during the yellow card as well. So 7-0. A lot of points scored this game when one of the teams had a man down. Towards the end, Sale goes 16 phases. The TMO checks for a late shot on Robert Dupree. It's a penalty. They interestingly kicked for touch. I forget what distance it was, but Robert Dupree's got a pretty big boot. Not quite Frans Steyn big, but pretty big. I thought maybe it was worth a shout, but they didn't, and they didn't end up getting a win out of it. So, yeah, tough result to take if you're a Sale fan. Exeter go from looking absolutely unstoppable to quite human for the rest of the game. So, a great quarter and a bit. But that was it. So, I mean, they managed to hold on, so credit to them. Run meters 393 to 313, so not that different, but Sale with the majority. Sale 53% possession, 55% territory, a lot of that in the second half. Tackling Exeter was only 77, which in the Champions Cup I think is the lowest this week. Sale only 80, so both sides relatively low for this week. Like the next game, both sides are 85. The previous game, both sides were in the mid-80s. I think Ospreys were like 81. So, yeah, it's relatively low for this week. Penalties conceded 11 to 14. So, not that high, but kind of medium. Goal kicking, 50% for Sale, 67% for Exeter. So, that could have changed the outcome of this game had either side been a touch better. Sale busting some tackles. Johan Janse van Rensburg had 5 defenders beaten. Hammersley had 7. Hogg had 6. 15 minutes played. He had 62 run meters, 2 clean breaks, and 6 defenders beaten in 15 minutes. So he was extraordinary while he was on. Vermeulen for Exeter made 17 out of 18 tackles. So Exeter are really sitting pretty. They are first in the pool. That's pool number 2. 14 points. Sale are in third on 6th in that pool also. Glasgow's on 8, and La Rochelle are looking pretty sad down there on just 1 point. The last game, Toulouse against Montpellier. Like I said, I've only seen the highlights of this one, and it was an interesting highlight set. It seemed to be absolutely peltering down over there in France. There was an almost Toulouse try from the kickoff. Montpellier's receipt of that kickoff was about as bad as it gets without conceding a try. Toulouse kick a penalty to make it 3-0 earlier. The next highlight jumps to 22 minutes, so apparently not a lot was going on. Ramos kicks another penalty, just 6-0. 36 minutes, and Tamak gets the first of his 2 tries after a few phases. They had advantage. He kind of saw a gap, went low. Smart because he's not a huge guy. Makes it 13-0. But before halftime, Montpellier kick a penalty to make it 13-3, keep it slightly in touching distance, and then started the second half. Front stain, mega boot, 50 plus meters, slots it to make it 13-6. So they score end of the first half, start of the second half, makes Montpellier look like they got a bit of momentum coming back. And I didn't know the result as I was watching these highlights either. 46 minutes, Montpellier have a penalty go off the post. Toulouse counter, can't do anything with it. 49 minutes though, Intermac gets a intercept and he is just gone. He's not lightning, but he had enough speed to get through, and it made it 20 points to 6. Montpellier got another penalty on 54, 20 points to 9. Picamol's got yellow carded for killing the ball on a Toulouse attack, but they can't really do anything with the yellow card. They can't score a try when there's like a minute left on the yellow card. They kick a penalty just to put it out of touching distance. So 23-9 is how it finished. 3 points scored during the yellow card. So, my son's outside the room. I better wrap this up. Stats, run meters, 422 to 211. Toulouse with the better of that deal. More possession, more territory, 60%. Possession was 53. Tackling, 85% each. 100 odd each, so pretty similar numbers. Penalties conceded 8 to 11. Not that much in that, and that's kind of on the slightly lower end, I guess, a few fewer than the previous games. Ramos had 4 defenders, beaten 77 run meters, and some bloody good goal kicking compared to the previous game. And it was raining as well, so it wasn't like it was that much better. One of the Montpellier guys whose name I've written, but I cannot read my own writing, 14 out of 15 tackles. Gaultier? 26 knock-ons in that game. Like I said, it was wet. It was very wet, but still. Toulouse in pool 5 alongside Gloucester and Connacht. So Toulouse looking good, up in first, 13 points. Montpellier third, 5 points. Toulouse looking like the team to win. I bet they've heard that joke a million times. But yeah, like I said, if you're going to get up bloody early before the sun is rising to watch some early morning rugby, those two games kept me thoroughly entertained. I know I get the odd Southern Hemisphere person on the channel for sure, and a few of them have said they've been checking out a bit of the Champions Cup with what I've been looking at as well. Those games are good examples of how it can go, man. That one wasn't too bad, but like I said, the highlights kind of jumped around a bit, so I can't really speak to it. But yeah, certainly some good times, some great tries in that one, and just tension like you wouldn't believe in that one. And Hogman for those 15 minutes. Top stuff. You won't see many better performances over 15 minutes. But yeah, you guys let me know your thoughts on the games, the ones you've seen. What else did I miss that you guys noticed? Like I said, I was dual screening, so definitely have missed a few things. Check us a like if you did like the video, and yeah, I'll talk to you guys again soon. See you later.